Mechanical properties of fluids. Topic: hydraulic machines. Consider a horizontal cylinder with a piston and two vertical tubes at different points. Some fluid is taken inside this vessel. The pressure in the horizontal cylinder is indicated by the height of liquid column in the vertical tubes. Because the pressure can be calculated by knowing the height of the liquid column using an equation, pressure P equals H into rho into G, where H is height of the liquid column, rho is the density of the liquid, and G is acceleration due to gravity. So since the height of the liquid columns are same, the pressure everywhere in the horizontal cylinder is same. Now when this piston is pushed inward, what will happen? Let us see. That is, if we push the piston, the fluid level rises in all the tubes, again reaching the same level in each one of them. That is, the pressure is equally distributed within the system or throughout the horizontal pipe. This indicates that when the pressure on the cylinder was increased, it is distributed uniformly throughout. That is, we can say whenever external pressure is applied on any part of a fluid contained in a vessel, it is transmitted undiminished and equally in all directions. This is another form of the Pascal's law, and it has many applications in daily life. A number of devices such as hydraulic lift and hydraulic brakes are based on the Pascal's law. In these devices, fluids are used for transmitting pressure. Now let us see the working of a hydraulic lift. In a hydraulic lift, as shown in figure, two pistons are separated by the space filled with a liquid. That is, we have two vertical columns connected by a horizontal pipe and some fluid is taken inside it. There are two pistons, one of smaller area and other of larger area. A piston of small cross-section A1 is used to exert a force F1 directly on the liquid. The pressure P is transmitted throughout the liquid to the larger cylinder attached with a larger piston of area A2, which results in an upward force of P into A2. That is, when the piston is pushed downward, when that smaller piston is pushed downwards, the larger piston goes up. Let us see the working of a hydraulic lift. You could see there, when the smaller piston comes down or when the smaller piston is pushed down by a force, the larger piston goes up. Now what is the force on larger piston? Let us calculate it. Suppose a downward force F1 is applied on the smaller piston. Then the pressure of the liquid under this piston increases to P, and the pressure is given by F1 by A1. But according to Pascal's law, this increased pressure P is transmitted undiminished in all directions. So a pressure is exerted on larger piston, which pushes the larger piston upwards with a force F2, where F2 is equal to the pressure P into A2. But we know pressure P is equal to F1 by A1. So F2 equals F1 by A1 into A2. That is, F2 is equal to A2 by A1 into F1. That is on rearrangement of the terms. We know that A2 is larger compared to A1. So A2 by A1, that ratio A2 by A1 will be greater than 1. That means the force on the second piston, that is F2, will be much larger than F1. That is, by using a small force, we can generate a large force which could even lift vehicles placed on that piston A2. Therefore, by changing the force on the smaller piston A1, the force on the piston A2 has been increased by the factor, and this factor A2 by A1 is called the mechanical advantage of the lift. Hydraulic brakes in automobiles also works on the same principle. When we apply a little force on the pedal with our foot, the master piston moves inside the master cylinder, and the pressure caused is transmitted through the brake oil to act on a piston of larger area. A large force acts on the piston and is pushed down, expanding the brake shoes against brake lining. In this way, a small force on the pedal produces a large retarding force on the wheel.